Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostle of the great millstone. Salutations to you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth and all sincerity and faith and honesty. Alright, as you can see on the Google search here, which was already taught to us by the elder apostles of great millstone through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, who is Ishmael today? The elders taught us this already, that Ishmael, was Ishmael are the Arabs today, alright? This Ishmael recognized as an important prophet and patriarch of Islam. Muslims believe that Ishmael was the firstborn of Abraham, which he was, alright, born to him from his second wife, Hagar. Ishmael is recognized by Muslims as the ancestor of several prominent Arab tribes and being the forefather of Muhammad. Alright, so he's the ancestor of the Arabs, man. The ones in the Middle East today, Ishmael. Alright, that's who they spring from. Okay, and with that being said, that you got some of them that even know that they come from Ishmael. Alright, as it says Muslims. But the reason why I'm bringing this information out is because we get a lot of questions all the time. The Hebrew Israelites, are we Muslims? Okay, we have absolutely nothing to do with Muslims. All right, they see us out there with the beards. Some brothers wear the mitris on top of the head. All right, we are not Muslims. All right, the reasons why the customs are the same, or look as if they're the same, or look as if we're Muslim. You tell somebody you don't eat pork, they automatically think you're Muslim. But the reason why is because Abraham begot Ishmael, alright, and Abraham was given the covenants of the Heavenly Father, man, which included the circumcision, alright, and the laws, man. So Ishmael was born underneath Abraham. So Abraham begot Isaac, alright, and Isaac begot Jacob, which begot the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the Israelites, alright, and we are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so those customs were passed to Ishmael. Therefore, Ishmael and Jacob today, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to have the same customs. That's why when we see brothers out there growing their beards, or brothers out there with the garments on, or brothers wearing the mitris, or brothers not eating pork. And I'm going to explain that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai, probably as simple as I can in this, with a few scriptures. I'm going to start at Genesis 11 verse 31. And Terah took Abram, that was Abraham's name before Abraham, Abram, his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, and his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Now Terah was Abraham's dad. It's like at this point his name was Abram, Abram's dad. Now the Lord said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, into a land that I will show thee. So this is Abraham this is the Lord, Salakia, pulling Abram from all the ways of his father, separating him from the customs of his dad, man. Because they were worshiping all kind of stuff in the early Chaldees, man. All right, worshiping the moon and so on and so forth. Okay. It says, and from the father's house unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. So with that, I'm gonna hop scriptures, try to get straight to the point here. It says now this is Genesis 16 verse 1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. Now Hagar, was the father Salaki was the mother of Ishmael. Okay, and Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. So Abram's wife Sarai couldn't have kids. Okay, it says, I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. So Ishmael wasn't born yet, but Abram lied down with Ishmael's mother, which was Hagar, which was Sarai's handmaid. All right, and he went on to Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said to Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw thee, she conceived. I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and thee. And Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And Sarai dealt hardly with her. She fled from her face. So Sarai fled. Hagar, Ishmael, soon to be Ishmael's mother, fled into the wilderness. Okay, now it says, verse 7, Genesis 16:7. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And she said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence camest thou, and whither thou go? And she said, I flee from face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael. Okay, as we read before, Ishmael is recognized as an important prophet, a patriarch of Islam. Muslims believe that Ishmael was the firstborn of Abraham. All right, which is true. Born to him by his second wife Hagar, Ishmael is recognized by Muslims as the ancestor of several prominent Arab tribes and being the forefather of Muhammad. Okay, so back in the scriptures, this is Genesis 16:11. The angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and bear a son, shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man. That's prophecy right there. The Arabs are known as wild men. It says, and his hand will be against every man. Okay, now today everybody know, through the so-called white man demonizing Arabs, everybody is against the Arabs. All right, they see Arabs with turbans and beards, they automatically have some hatred towards them because of the so-called white man. All right, so it says his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Okay, so that's why you got the Arab nations. All right, you got all those Arabic nations together. Okay, over there in the Middle East, they dwell together. Okay, they're brothers. Okay, and she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her. Genesis 16:13. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me, for she said, Have I also here looked after him that he seeth me? Okay, verse 11. Genesis 16:11. The angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Alright, so that was Abram's first son. Okay, now what I'm about to do is jump from there to Genesis 17 verse 9. Okay, it says, And God said to Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, and thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which he shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. Okay, so the Lord made a covenant with Abraham. Okay, and the law was there from the beginning. Okay, that's why Noah was able to get every clean and unclean beast into the ark. All right, going back to the Levitical laws. All right, it was just verbal. It was always there. That's why when Cain killed Abel, Okay, that's a sin. You know, thou shalt not kill without a just cause. All right, he murdered him. It's like he murdered him. Okay, so that was a law. You know, so the law was always there. So Abraham went by those laws, and this covenant that he made with Abraham. Okay, the circumcision. All right, now Genesis 17 verse 9, and the Most High said to Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, and thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man shall among you shall be circumcised. Now I'm gonna jump from Genesis 17 to I'm gonna start at 20. It's like I'm gonna start at 19. And God said unto Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And later on, Isaac begot Jacob. All right, and Jacob begot the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with the seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. All right, verse 21, Genesis chapter 17. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at the set time in the next year. Okay, and he left off talking with him, and the Most High went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, okay, and all that were born in his house. So Ishmael was under the house of Abraham, okay, which went by the laws and statutes, commandments, and had the covenant of the Heavenly Father. All right, so that's why Ishmael has those same customs as we do, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the Hebrew Israelites that you see out there on the highways and byways prophesying. That's of the circumcision, all right? And right now it's a spiritual circumcision. Okay, it says, Abraham took Ishmael his son and all that were born in his house and all that were bought with his money, every male among them, among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of the foreskin the selfsame day as the Most High said unto him. All right. And Abraham 90 years old and 9 when he circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, and Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised in Ishmael his son. Okay, so Ishmael was raised by his father Abraham. Okay, therefore he went under the same laws and statutes, commandments that we go by today, the Hebrew Israelites. We are not Muslims. We are not affiliated with Muslims. Okay, we have absolutely nothing to do with Muslims, nothing to do with the Quran. We are reading out of the Bible. Okay, so that's why the customs are similar. That's why we don't eat pork. Okay, because Abraham taught Ishmael these same laws and statutes, commandments, and the covenant. Okay, he taught Ishmael the same thing that we know today. All right. So with that being said, you know, Lord's will, you know, I was edified, you know, through the Spirit. All right, and you know, I was just going off the Spirit with this one. You know, I didn't really have nothing set up, so I did the best I could. All right, but with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that wants to elder apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to you sincere laborers out there pushing his truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty.